Brian and Amanda Hubbard raise blueberries and produce sorghum and molasses on their 100-acre farm in Wise County. 3 years ago, they started producing maple syrup as well. Virginia has a well-established maple syrup industry in Highland and Bath counties farther north, but Wise County producers feel it's a good market for them as well.
3 years ago, my son wanted to make maple syrup. He wanted to make a gallon of maple syrup for himself. And by helping him throughout the winter, I found out that I kind of liked the idea. So from there, it progressed, from 10 trees to 175 to the next year to 350 the next year.
There are so many maple trees on Hubbard's farm, he may expand syrup production to as many as 2,000 trees. Other maple syrup producers in Southwest Virginia may not have that many trees to work with, but experts say they could grow their own sugar businesses by leasing trees on national forest land.
People think that it's a mystery. There's a big mystery involved in the maple production, and I get questions a lot about what do you add to it to give it the color, and what do you add to it to give it the sweetness. But basically, you're collecting the sap, which can be done very cheaply, and you're just boiling the water away until you get that 66% sugar. The sap will come out of the tree at 1 to 3% sugar, and you just boil and boil and boil until you've got 66% sugar, and then you've got a marketable product. Those months that are so cold while you're waiting for the thaw, you can also be producing a very high value product that can supplement your farm endeavors for the remainder of the year.
Since he has welding experience, Hubbard saved money by making his own sap cooker. Using research from Cornell University in New York, he learned that 3/8-inch tubing will create a natural vacuum when run downhill, and that more than 30 trees can be tapped on each line. The lines run close to 1,000 feet down the mountainside to his collection points and then to his sugar house.
My biggest help this year was I invested in a reverse osmosis machine, which that reduces the sap by 75%. It takes the water out of the sap and concentrates the sap to be cooked. So if I had 100 gallons of sap, once I run it through the machine, I'll have 25 gallons to actually cook down.
Amanda Hubbard helps with marketing their syrup as well as running their newly constructed sugar house. She says their syrup is so popular, folks stop by to ask if some is ready when they see smoke coming from the chimney.
Brian's put a lot of time into what he's done and had put a lot of heart into it. And I'm really proud of him. And I think if people see some of this stuff that he's done, they'll say, hey, that does take a little bit of craftsmanship.
The Hubbards are not the only maple syrup producers here. David Lawson taps about 350 trees at his family's vineyard. He uses 3/8-inch tubing as well and describes his maple syrup operation as a hobby that went out of control. This year, he's moving his boiling operation away from the wine cellars because of all the smoke his wood fires produce.
It's not artificial, it's totally from nature. And then you can get a family involved because they can go help you collect the sap, they can help you move wood, they can see it, bottle it up. It can become a real family thing. Every year at the winery, we're going to do a pancake breakfast with our maple syrup. And we usually have a couple other products made from maple. I think she's got a little bit of maple sugar, like maple rock sugar. That's just, we let maple syrup evaporate to make rock candy, kind of like the Indians did. We do maple cotton candy, and then of course lots of pancakes and syrup for pancakes.
6 years ago, there were 31 maple syrup farms in Virginia selling $78,000 worth of syrup. And the industry is growing wherever there's a large supply of maple trees to tap. In Wise County, maple syrup is mostly produced in January and February. In other areas, the sugar season runs until late March. Wherever it's made, be sure to order yours today or swing by your local sugar camp to pick some up before it's all gone. In Wise County, this is Dave Miller.